The room last night, this is the room, was a few notches below the room yesterday. But yesterday's room had bugs. And I'm not going to say this place didn't have bugs, but the color of the sheets is so dark, you couldn't even tell if there were bugs. So is that a win? I think that's a win. Hey guys, it is about 4:20 in the morning, a little bit later than I normally start. We have an interesting ride, one big hill, 60 plus kilometers, and the surprise, a potential surprise. It's one of the reasons I'm starting a little late. We're gonna need light. Let me get on the road. I'll talk to you more about it later. Listen to those crickets. Are those crickets or are those bats? I see a bat up there. No, those must be crickets. What a weird popping cricket sound. Today we're riding in a nature reserve, wildlife preserve. This whole area is part of it. The sun is rising, which is exactly what I wanted, because I need the light. I need the light in about 15 kilometers to be shining bright enough for us to do a little search and rescue. For what? Well, you know me. Let's tell a little story and it will lead into where we're headed. I have always been somewhat of an entrepreneur. I get that from my dad. You always want to solve a problem, try to think of creative ways to solve problems and take some risk. One of those issues came up when I was about 15 years old. I was working at one of the many jobs I've had in my life. I've had like 60 plus jobs in my life. And one of the, early ones, whew, that is nice. One of the early ones was working as a gas attendant at a boat dock at the local marina where I lived in Detroit near the Great Lakes, and we had a lot of big marinas there, some of the biggest freshwater marinas in the world, I was told. And I worked at one filling up boats. And one day, one of the rich boat owners, came into the slip and asked for a fill up. If you guys don't know, there's a railing on a boat around the outside edge. You use it to walk on to get to the bow of the boat or the stern of the boat. And that is normally where you fill up the gas. They're little round caps that have two holes in them. And you have this little fork device that you stick in the holes, and it allows you to torque off the cap. Once you torque off the cap, you fill up the gas, job is done. The owner of this boat was looking at me filling up his boat, and he was leaning over the rail, and his glasses, which were on his forehead loosely, fell off, bounced off the railing, bounced off of the dock on this way down into the murky water next to the gas dock. And then expletives flew. Damn it, those are $150 glasses, I remember him saying. Light bulb over my head. I've always been a swimmer, and I can hold my breath for quite some time. 3.5 minutes, actually. And so I said to him, almost immediately, I'll get him. 20 bucks. $20 to 15-year-old Matt was a pretty big deal. Now he looked at me, did the equation pretty quick in his mind, said, go get him. I stripped down to my boxer shorts, jumped into the water after I finished gassing up his boat, of course. The water was only about 2.5 meters, like 8 feet deep, not too far. And so I was able to get to the bottom with relative ease. When I got to the bottom, I was able to open my eyes underwater. It was fresh water. It was really murky. Had like a layer of just muck that was very thick. But sitting atop the muck, like it's resting on a pillow, was a pair of beautiful shiny Ray-Ban sunglasses. So I grabbed them stuck them in my waistband, and man, oh man, I was exhilarated. The idea of finding something that was lost, to me, was amazing. And it was so gratifying. It was like instant gratification. As a matter of fact, it was so instant that I sort of felt guilty, because I was taking this guy's $20 and I had his item in my hand, which I tucked into my waistband of my boxer shorts, but I felt like, oh geez. In my stupid mind at the time, I was like, I found him too quick. I think I'm gonna have to stay down here a little longer to kind of make that guy feel like he's getting a bang for his buck. Because it was literally within the first 3 seconds of my dive that I came across his glasses. But then a shimmer caught my eye, and out of the muck, sticking out, was one of those metal keys in order to take off the gas cap. Now, when I started working at the gas dock, I got my first one for free. But as most gas attendants will tell you, you lose them a lot. You're finicking with the cap, maybe it's tight, twisted too hard, and the thing falls in the water. Shit, gotta get a new one. Simple piece of metal, bent around, and then like chromed out. It was really like nice, pretty looking little metal devices in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but these things cost about $4 or $5, which I think at the time I was working for about $5 or $6 an hour. So an hour's worth of work was now staring at me out of the muck. And I said to myself, cha-ching. I grabbed it. I looked over. There was another one. I grabbed it. I stuck my hand into the silt, just slowly into the muck, feeling all manner of, at the time I should have been smarter, shards of metal and debris that is used to build the dock, and then, you know, stuff that's fallen off boats, garbage and all sorts of stuff. But amongst that was another key, and then another, and then another. Pretty soon I had 6 keys in one hand, 7 keys in the other hand, and a pair of glasses, which was the original mission, underneath my waistband. Good enough haul for the day. I actually took all the keys and I set them alongside one of the big posts for the dock, and I said, I'll get you later. I grabbed the glasses out of my waistband and then pushed up to the surface. The glasses came out of the water first, to a gleefully happy owner of the boat, really excited. I mean, basically he had gotten his glasses back. He was not going to be jumping in that water, so that was like a total loss to him, and so he was more than happy. He gave me my 20 bucks. I ended up selling those keys for $1 a piece, made another 10 bucks or whatever. I kept a couple for myself. Boom, an idea formed in my head. Also, a discovery that I had a real passion for finding things. Just the idea that what was lost was now found was really exhilarating. So, 15-year-old Matt, no real idea how to do it, said, I'm gonna start a business. I started telling all the boats in the neighborhood that I was a guy that you could call on to find stuff. If you had anything fall in the water, or you wanted me to inspect the bottom of your boat, I could be there in a minute, jump in the water, Jayoe, solve the problem. I even had the very first set of business cards I've ever had made. I called my little impromptu business Treasure Hunter, with a little clip art of a scuba diver. I wasn't scuba diving, I was just holding my breath. And my phone number, there was no email address. Maybe it was even my pager number. Yes, I am that old. Anyways, word spread around the marinas in the area, and I started getting calls. Put an extra $20 in my pocket here, $20 in my pocket there. I probably made $100 a week extra income during the season that people had their boats in the water. I found propellers, keys, I found wallets, I found glasses. And everybody gave me a pat on the back, money without question. And it felt awesome because I just kept feeding that desire to find stuff. It was that first time that I actually created a business out of something that I really enjoyed doing. And today I'm cycling around the world and making videos, which is something I really enjoy doing. That's kind of cool. That went on for about a whole season and a half, I think. And then next season, I was called to get somebody's wallet. And I went to the port, found the gentleman. He walked me out to the end of a pier where his wallet had fallen out of his pocket or bag. And he says, right down there. He didn't tell me anything else. He just said it's right down there. So, took my shirt off, had my swimsuit, jumped in the water, rooted around in the muck and the weeds and the dirt, found his wallet, came up, got out of the dock, toweling myself off. Hey, thanks, the guy says. I really appreciate it. It's what I do, sir. And he says, I can't believe you went in that water, to be honest. And I looked at him, I says, what do you mean? And then he carefully shuffles sideways to reveal the sign he was standing in front of that said, poison. Do not swim in this water. It's been sprayed with a pesticide in order to kill all the overgrowth of algae and seaweed that kind of chokes the docks. And a couple of times a season, they will literally poison the water with like a herbicide, and it's extremely toxic. And I remember looking at that guy, I was 16 at the time, and I said, what the hell, sir? How the hell did you have me swimming in that water when you knew it was bad for my health? And he looked at me, wallet in hand, gave me this shit-eating grin, said, as long as it wasn't me. And that was the last time the treasure hunter business ever went on a job. I kind of self-reflected and started thinking about all the muck and pollution and oil and gasoline and crap that I had been swimming through, and thought about maybe I was hurting myself more than I was putting a couple of bucks in my pocket. And so treasure hunter closed up, a story in Matt's life was written, and my soup just added a little spice. If you don't know the soup reference, look at my inspiration series videos. I kind of analogize that we are all a soup, and the different experiences that we have, the different people we meet, all add a little bit to who we are. So let's round about to today. There is another YouTuber who is cycling around the world in his own way. His name's Adam Hugill. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Anyways, I'll link to his channel in the description. He's a really nice guy. A Brit, I think. Are you a Brit? I think you're a Brit. Either way, you've got an accent, and I'm an ignorant American. If it sounds a little bit British, then that's what you are. Anyways, he is cycling around the world, and we have kind of been playing a game of cat and mouse. He went through Vietnam, I went through Vietnam. He went through Laos, I went through Laos. He went through China, and we just never quite jived up. The fact is, the road we're on today, he was on, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, but I think it was like a month ago or something, more. He actually stayed with Chris, who I stayed with in Phnom Penh. And so our paths were quite in line. During one of his videos, he ran into a problem. He flies a drone a lot like me, and he was flying a drone along this area, and he lost it. It was trying to return to home because it was running low on batteries, and it plummeted into the jungle. You get where I'm going with this, right? It plunged into the jungle along this strip of road about a month ago and disappeared. And he was never able to get it. What he did have is the exact GPS coordinates where it was. And I have those coordinates now. It's about 15 kilometers in front of us, less than 15 kilometers. And I have a drone that I can use as sort of a reconnaissance, which he did not have at the time. I also have renewed vigor, which he was running low on the day it happened. He was searching for about 45 minutes, and he was having a bit of a hard time with it. But not me. I am ready to go. So he has, so he and I have been talking, and I have the location of the last point of his drone, and we are headed there right now. No promises, but it's very possible that we can find his drone and maybe eject the SD card. I don't know. I am very excited. All night last night I was hypothesizing what would be the possibility of me finding his drone. Now, you know, this is very dense jungle. We are actually in a nature preserve, like I said, and I don't know, what are the odds of me finding it? Pretty low. But you know what? I have defied odds lower than that in the past, and my fingers are crossed, and I am ready to go. So we are at 8 kilometers into the ride, and the drone is at the 20 kilometer mark of this 65 kilometer ride. I wanted to make sure to leave late enough that the sun would be up enough to illuminate my search area, and so that's where we're at. It is a fairly steady climb there, so I'm going to put the camera away and Jayoe.
Had a bit of a disaster. I've just flown the drone into this. I've just been rummaging around for the last 45 minutes. It's tiring, going through all this jungle. I just cannot find it anywhere. Now I've just shredded my hand on a bit of bamboo. Maybe someone will find it one day and somehow find me and get it back to me. I very much doubt anyone's finding it in there.
All right, so I pulled a picture that he took from his video where he was right about at this spot. It doesn't look quite the same, but this is the GPS coordinate he gave me, right straight in. So either I'm a little off, like it seems to jive with that area over there, but if he gave me the GPS coordinates, maybe he was looking in the wrong area. Adam, I got no guarantees for you, buddy, but I am here, and I'm gonna take a quick look around. I'm not gonna invest so much of my time today in this, but I'll be here for a little while. Before I go in, I put on my bike gloves and my hiking shoes and some long socks so I don't get cut up. It seems a little hairy in there, but I'm just gonna walk in with my phone, get right underneath that GPS coordinate and see what I see. All right, guys. I am pretty much right where the GPS coordinates were. I've got my trike kind of protected up there. Hopefully nobody sees it. If they do, I gotta scramble up this thing real quick. I'm listening for the sounds of, ooh, prickly. I'm listening for the sounds of trucks. Slowing. Passing. The coordinates he gave me lead right to here. So let me look around. Ooh. Raton. That shit is not cool if you get near it. If I was gonna make an educated guess, I'd say it's in this tree. It's still lost there, Adam, I'm sorry. I was looking forward to probably giving you some good news, but this is probably what you expected. Me coming out here and finding out that it was, in fact, gone. The GPS coordinates are just over this bushel of trees and vines. So maybe someday down the road, somebody will come across your drone as it's encased in some sort of earth. Some geologist someday. What are you gonna do? You can't win them all, right? I thought maybe there was a chance over the course of the month that it was sort of dislodged or weather kind of shuffled it to the forest floor, but it's probably up there in the foliage, completely concealed. I wasn't necessarily thinking I was gonna climb any trees too much. Those trees are full of rotten spikes and bugs and all sorts of manner of tropical Cambodian insects. I spent about 30 or 40 minutes here, so I think that was a good effort. But like I said, you can't win them all, and there's still a 200 meter climb up ahead, so I'm gonna Jayoe forward. Sorry, Adam, your drone will have to stay there until some future culture discovers it, plugs your little mini SD in, and enjoys your ride. What are you gonna do? I see what you were saying, Adam. It's a nice ride, and once you leave the past behind, you can embrace the future, right? Embrace the future. These pants are really nice. They're like air cooled. They puff up when the air goes underneath, and oh boy, really nice and cooling. Really nice. All right, 352 meters vertical. I thought I was gonna hit 400 today. Sometimes the map is a little bit deceiving. It hits that 400 mark and it says that's where the peak is, but actually I think it's all downhill from here. 352 meters. I'm at a little village here at the top. I'm gonna get some water and then turn this puppy around and head down. Hello. Hello. Hi. Hello. You have water? Okay. Another cold water and a Coke. Uh-huh. Hello. Hello. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, thank you. Oh, oh, thank you. Oh, more? Oh, oh, thank you. Oh, 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 okay. Oh, oh, okay. Thank you. Bring it back.
Yeah, just bring it back, please. Definitely a weird motion.
It is weird. Your legs will feel it after a little while, but where are you from?
London.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Where are you riding to and from?
We started in Bangkok.
Okay.
And we've done a bit of riding on the roads and a bit on the train. Went to Siem Reap.
Okay.
Got the boat down to Battambang.
Yeah.
And then we sort of done a bit of riding, a bit of boat, a bit of taxi, a bit of everything up through the Cardamom Mountains.
Around the world in 80 ways.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cool. It's perfect. It's been such a nice trip.
That's the problem with that, is that your dog bite height.
The dogs don't understand it.
Yeah, they do not like it. I would hate for him to get bit. That would be the worst.
Tiny little.
You know? I've been riding that thing for 5 years and I've never been bit. He rides it for 2 minutes and then it gets mauled by a dog.
It's the ginger.
right. Put your head back all the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's like a cushion.
Yeah.
Armchair.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Stuart.
Nice to meet you, Stuart. James.
Cool, man.
Like the setup, very cool.
Got a light at the front end as well.
So actually today's our last day of riding.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
It's sad, but so we go down to Trepanrung.
Okay.
Town down here.
Yeah.
And then we've got a couple of days sort of safari.
No shit.
A little bit of luxury at the end.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. It's always nice to see some people on the road. I remember from the day that Adam lost his drone, he met a really nice tour cyclist as he was coming from Thailand into Cambodia. Sort of the same way. Might have met at a very similar spot on his tour. Just kind of interesting mirror of my tour to his on this stretch of road at the same time. Interesting. Look at those are kind of neat. There's a whole mess of these. I don't know if they're like a hotel with some interesting ecologically designed houses or what, but they're under construction, not finished yet. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, it's probably about 10 of them, and more to be built. I bet there'll be some here too. Interesting. Interesting. One more hill, then we're out of this. We'll be in Thailand in no time. Look at the amount of side view mirrors on that truck. Hello. I wonder how that happens. You have one side view mirror and then you're like, I'd like one more. It's like an addiction. Pretty soon you've got 67 side view mirrors on your truck. Scratching. I need more. I need more. The end of the road is at 60 or 65, so very close to the border of Thailand. I think I'll probably spend one more night. There's one major city here on the Cambodia side. I think I'll bed down there. It's after that, once you cross over to the Thailand side, there's not a lot going on for the next 60 kilometers apparently. So I have a pocket full of Cambodian cash and my last chance to spend it. So my mouth is dry. Jayoe. You see the horizon? That is Thailand. And this is a very long straight road. Let's see what speed we can get up to. 43. My speedometer is like 50-50 working. 50, 51, 52. Smoother road. 54, 55, 56, 57. That's about a 57. Maybe 58. Woo! And that is the last hill of Cambodia. Oh, another one. Got another one. Here we go. I think we're descending all the way to sea level. Actually, we are descending all the way to sea level. 45, 46. Oh, look at that hill. One more up. After that, we're done. One more pimple. Let's see if my momentum can take us up a little bit here. Whoa. I haven't worn my shoes for a while. I put them on when I was looking through the jungle and I just kept them on. Ooh, man, the arches of my feet are sore. Oh. Coffee, fish and chips, and a pineapple smoothie. Good end to the ride. I found a hotel right here in town. I'm gonna hang out here in Cambodia one more night and then head into Thailand just as it starts to get hot. Can you tell it's hot? Maybe by my face. Oh man, that was a fantastic lunch. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, breakfast, lunch, dinner combined. That fish was really thick. They said it was barracuda. Really good. And a salad. Oh. I've got a hotel right down the street. Has a pool. I'm gonna probably run over there, check in, and just enjoy Cambodia for one more night. I'll maybe make another video later about like impressions of Cambodia. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe I'm done for the day. Anyways, yeah, this place is quite nice. They made me Vietnamese coffee. Vietnamese coffee in Cambodia. And it tasted like Vietnamese coffee. It was good.